The government wants to force truckers to have a speed limiter that will slow them down on the road. Is it safe? Let's ramble about it. Welcome to Shep Rambles, where I am Shep and I tend to ramble about what? Anything and everything. So we got some more trucking news for you. Apparently the FMCSA plans to push out speed limiter mandate proposal in the summer of 2023. This is actually some news that's been talked about and going around all throughout 2022. Before, it was just rumor or hearsay or something that could be a possibility, but now it looks like something that is definitely going to happen. Why? And how's that going to affect you? Well, let's talk about it. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, or the FMCSA, has signaled that it will move forward with a controversial rule to require speed limiting devices on commercial vehicles. So the FMCSA has targeted June 30th of 2023 as the planned date to release a supplemental notice of proposed rulemaking on heavy vehicle speed limiters. So not only are they planning to proceed with this speed limiter mandate, but they're also going to consider whether additional regulatory action should be taken concerning commercial motor vehicle manufacturer requirements. So it sounds to me that new semi-trucks are going to be coming out are going to have those speed limiters on them. I guess that would mean electric trucks. And as far as those automated trucks, let's not get into that right now. So earlier this year, the FMCSA issued a notice of intent document announcing plans to propose that any commercial vehicle with a gross vehicle weight of 26,001 pounds 26,000 and where do they get the one from? Why not just say 26,000? Or more has to be equipped with an electronic engine control unit that will be capable of governing speed to a limit that will be determined during the rulemaking process. I wouldn't be surprised if it's around 65 or 70 miles per hour. The reason why I say that is just based on what I've seen for company drivers out there. Companies will limit their speed to 62, 63 if you're just using the pedal. If you're using cruise control, 65. Some do 66 or 67. However, I know with my company, Swift, if you are an owner-operator, lease operator, your speed can be governed at 70 miles per hour. And then it kind of goes further from there. If you have an inward-facing camera, you can actually go a little bit faster than that. No thanks. So when the FMCSA made this announcement, they accepted public comment on the speed limiter rule, and it got 15,600 comments by that time the submission window closed. And quite frankly, I don't even know if they even bothered to read them. Here's a sample of some of the things that truckers had said. This idea is horrible. Y'all need to ride in a truck for a week. You would then see the real side of trucks. Just because it looks good on paper, it doesn't mean it's safe. If all trucks are going the same speed, cars will get mad and they'll try to get around no matter the risk that they take. It's a very bad idea and will further cripple the industry. So many of us will leave the industry and park the trucks. You can't get the supply chain caught up now. What do you think will happen with fewer trucks on the road? Stop trying to control our every move. We're not robots. So a lot of these comments came from truckers that argued against these speed limiters, saying it's going to cause a lot more road rage incidents. That's also going to increase the risk of crashes. Yeah, I would agree with the truckers on that one. Others are saying that the trucking industry is already over-regulated. and that the federal government's meddling is having a detrimental effect on the industry. And I would agree with that as well, especially when it comes with those electronic logs and the forced clock where you can only drive 11 hours within a 14-hour period. Because of all this, you got truckers that are trying to drive as much as they can, and then they try to find a place to park, and truck stops are just overfilled, rest stops are overfilled, trucks parked on the side of the freeway, on ramps, off ramps, out in the woods, somewhere in the trees, a parking lot somewhere. The idea of the electronic log and these hours of service, it had good intentions to start off with, but it got twisted all out of control. The hours of service was to keep truckers from pushing themselves so hard that they're not getting enough rest. And sometimes it wasn't the trucker that was at fault. Sometimes it's their company pushing when it wasn't safe for the driver to do so. Now also, some of these other commenters, they also said that there should be some better enforcement on passenger vehicles to improve highway safety. But let's be honest here. 4-wheelers, 18-wheelers, there are drivers on both sides that need to drive a little bit better. 4-wheelers need to understand that semis cannot just stop on a dime. They can't get up to speed in an instant. It takes them a little bit, especially if the loads are extremely heavy. But on the flip side, with 18-wheelers, you've got semis that are cutting in front of 4-wheelers, trying to pass another semi 1 mile per hour faster than the other driver. Thus, they're blocking everyone behind them. Everyone's getting upset. That stupid trucker. On and on and on. You folks have seen it on the road. So the trucking group, Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association, they said that studies have demonstrated that a higher variance of vehicle speeds and traffic flow increases the risk of an accident, and speed limiters cause speed variance. And if this proposal goes through and people are required to put these governing devices in their truck, is the government going to pay for it since they're mandating it? Yeah, probably not. And how much is something like that going to cost? I can only imagine owning your own truck and being told that you've got to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars to install something in your truck, your property, because the government said so. So, what are your thoughts on this whole thing? Do you think these speed limiters are a good idea? Do you think trucks out there are going way too fast than what they should be? I've definitely seen it. Maybe these speed limiters is a good thing if they don't cut it down to 65 miles per hour. Maybe they'll set the speed limiter to around 70 or 75. I personally think 75 is a little too fast, but 70 is not too bad of a speed. And yes, I know there are truckers that are going to disagree with me, but come on, an 18-wheel semi cannot stop the same as a 4-wheeler. And I think truck drivers forget about that. They drive their trucks like they drive a car. But in any case, let me know in the comments below what you think about this and how it's going to affect you. And also, hey, if you are new to this channel, why not subscribe? Click that notification bell so that way you get notified of future trucking content, such as news and games, tips, tutorials, and all kinds of fun stuff. Thanks so much for watching, and have a killer awesome day.